Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. Did you miss us? We've been working on this Prospector pinball machine that was made by Sonic, which is a Spanish company. We've done a few videos on it so far, and we got up to an interesting part, so I figured I'd film it. I said film. Deal with it. So, this particular game it's made in Spain. It's a lot different than the American-made ones. Well, kind of. It's just a different manufacturer than the American-made ones we usually do. But it has something interesting. It has a silver bonus countdown, or a silver bonus that you can collect, and a gold bonus. And here inside the game, we've got up to where we're kind of messing with that. If you didn't see the previous videos on this, go check them out. But there's two stepper units. And this game basically is very similar to an American-made Williams pinball machine. It looks like they just ripped off Williams on a whole bunch of stuff, including Williams' amazing stepper unit. But we have this one here that says it is the gold bonus unit. And this gold bonus unit is very unique. It only has one finger on the spider, as we call it. So that's kind of interesting. And then the other one, I assume, is the silver bonus unit. The tag fell off of it here. We'll have to put this back on. Silver bonus unit. Okay, well, I've got it all taken apart because I've been working on it. Basically, so of course it mounted up like that. But I'm having a problem where the plunger was stuck. So I've taken it all apart, and this coil has overheated. Now whoa, I'm gonna break it even worse. Now the ripples and everything in it, it's not that big of a deal. That's just kind of how they look sometimes. But what's going on is the sleeve inside. See that about halfway down how it looks kind of messed up? What happens is these get really hot, and then it will heat up this nylon sleeve in the middle and deform it. So I've got a little sleeve removal tool that somebody sent me. It's very nice of them. And that thing will not come out. It's just lodged in there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get pretty aggressive with it. I'm going to beat on it and beat on it to see if I can get it out. Because the coil is actually still good. It's just this sleeve has melted because the coil got too hot at some point. I've got new sleeves, and it's minor. Let me show you. This is the plunger that goes through it. And it's just enough that it's hanging to where this thing is not going to work right. Let's see if I can do all this with one hand. I can. It's just enough where the thing gets stuck, so it should just fall through. You know, it should be. So if I mess with it, it'll go in there. But it won't move as freely as it needs to. So the pivot, if I've got that, I don't think I have that out. Here we go. Basically that piece there fits in the plunger. And it should be able to pull that in and out and blah, 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 blah. And the little bar over here makes the gear move and all that. But it will not work right because this coil has overheated slightly. Now, if I have to, we're just going to swap it with a coil from a Williams, an A22 550. So the 22 is the gauge of wire, and the 550 is how many revolutions around the spindle. The A is the spool, whatever they call it. Is it a spool? It's whatever I think it's a spool. The A is like the mount. It might have to do with how this is made or whatever. But I may have one of these in the back. So if we can't beat this thing out, we're going to just try to replace it with a Williams one. Even though this is a Spanish-made machine, everything on it seems like a copy of what Williams did. And that stepper unit I have only seen in Williams pinball machines. Now, the reason that it's something special is it has 3 coils. Very unique. I don't drop everything. The reason that it has 3 is most of the stepper units were made like this. 1 coil advances the wheel one way, and 1 coil resets the wheel another way. So they had some that could, so basically it will advance step, stepper unit. It will advance up through like a bonus, so 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And then whenever the ball lands in the out hole and it needs to count that, it needs to do it one at a time. So it goes 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. And so it steps it backwards, resets it one position at a time. Well, they made other ones that, like the player unit, needs to be 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, 4 player, and then it needs to go back to 1, right? Well, it doesn't need to go 4 player, 3 player, 2 player, 1 player. So go 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, 4 player, 1 player. We just reset all the way back. But Williams, in their genius, made this, which steps forward, steps back, but also has a 3rd coil that will make it just step all the way back. So it's both types of stepper units in the same unit. Very unique. This is a Spanish one, though. This is the one made by Sonic, so very cool. All right, so let me see if I can beat that sleeve out. We run into that all the time, and wish me luck. If the thing holds up to me beating it with a hammer, and I can slide a new one in there, we'll save the coil. But if not, I'll rummage around and see if I've got one of those coils in the back somewhere. Sleeve removal, unbelievable. Sleeve removal tool. Oh, just hit it. It'll come right out. It won't break. No, hit it more. It won't smash. You won't need to go get a replacement coil. It'll work perfect. It's made to remove sleeves, even if they've been overheated. Just hit it with a hammer. It won't crack in half. The whole coil won't fall apart. It makes me sick. Well, I had to order one. I didn't have any. But I put a J22550 on it. The J and the A, the difference usually is something to do with the sleeve that's installed in it, or something to do with the way the wires are mounted or whatever, but it looks exactly like the A, so there we are. So it should do its thing now. It's moving very nicely. You see, we've got it cleaned up. And then like I was saying, what's so special about this one is if this pulls in, so if it sends a signal to this, right, power to that, it will step back one at a time. Okay. But if it's also holding this in, it moves this little bar here. And that little bar holds that lever up. So when it pulls in after that, if I can get it to do it, it resets all the way back to the 0. Pretty cool, but with the new one in, we're good now. But here's what's so interesting to me. That's the silver bonus unit, which we never had working whenever we were playing it the other day. This one is the gold bonus unit. And it was working. But I went ahead and cleaned it up too. You've only got this one hook on the spider. Is it still a spider if it only has one leg? And this one works fine. So here's what I want to do. I want to look in the schematics. See, this one has to count down one at a time because it doesn't have the other little thing to hold that bar up. I wonder if I held the bar up myself, would it work? I'm going to hold the bar up. Yep. Ha! Pretty cool. Okay, so what I want to do is look in the schematics and see if we can figure out how that works. And why that coil would have got hot enough that it kind of burnt up. Now, it's not really burnt. It's just it burnt enough that It got hot enough that it messed up the center of the sleeve. This where it's wrapped around the wires, that's not a problem. That's how they all look. And you wouldn't even know looking at it that it burned up. But the one that steps up the silver bonus unit, the silver bonus unit step up coil appears to have gotten hot at some point. So why would that be? So let's look in the schematics and see if we can suss it out. What do you think? So we showed this on a previous video. The schematics for this particular game are about 6 feet long. Look at that. It's 1977, a Spanish-made game that was, you know, largely a copy of some of the stuff Williams was doing. Just complex as heck. So how would you ever even use these to figure something like that out? Well, we'll just find that coil, right? So that would be the silver advance, or the silver bonus unit step-up coil would be what that is called. And if you look on here, there it is. The silver bonus unit step-up coil, A22550. We just put a J22550. So that's it right there. Now, one side of it is connected to this line here that goes all the way back to the transformer. And then the other side of the transformer, which is kind of the common, but it's AC, right, is the tricky one. So here we are. So this coil would turn on and would stay on if this power was always going to it and that power was always going to it. Well, we know that side's always going to it. So what would make it always go this way? Silver bonus unit step up. So the way it gets the juice from over here, or the connected over here, is it can connect through a closed switch on the silver bonus advance relay. So when the silver bonus advance relay closes, that switch would close, which would connect power right to that coil. Okay, and then it can also get power through the score motor, this switch on the score motor. So as the score motor turns, this will come up from over here to over here. And then if, while that's happening, every time the score motor closes, it's going to close that switch. Every time the score motor turns, at the beginning of the game, during the game, at the end of the ball. If the right and center eject relay is on, a switch would close, providing power to it. Or if the left eject and canyon relay was closed, it would send power to it. And then also, here's another switch on the motor that would do it as the score motor turns. Oh, if the out-hole relay was pulled in. So if the out-hole relay is pulled in and that switch is closed, then as the score motor turns, when that switch closes, power would snake through, right? And then there's another one, if the out-hole relay is closed, there's another one, 4A and 4B. As they turn, they would send power to it. Oh, that's the ball release. Okay, so it's just that one. Okay, so the score motor would have to be turning for that to lock on. So what that means is that score motor switch, if it was stuck, it would do it. But that's not usually it. The score motor switches usually aren't stuck together. It could be, but not usually. Okay, and then both of these could do it if this score motor switch was stuck, but again, not usually. The more obvious one, the silver bonus unit step-up coil, would be is if this silver bonus advance relay were to stick on, that switch would always be closed and you would always be getting power to that coil, and it would sit there and get really hot and start melting the nylon sleeve in the middle, which is what ours did. So if I was going to guess, I wasn't there when it happened, but I would guess that this silver bonus advance relay got stuck on, and that's what burnt that coil up. So silver bonus advance relay, what would make it stick on? Well, if we look, here's the gold bonus advance relay. Here's the silver bonus advance relay. So again, one side of the coil always has power. Now how do you get power to the other side? So this is a switch on itself. So the reason for that is When it pulls in, it turns the switch on itself on, which stays on until the bonus unit end of stroke switch opens. Right? So until the bonus unit moves, whenever it moves, it will open a switch, which kills the power to it there. They do that so that if you hit something on the playfield that makes that come on really quick, it holds itself on so that it's long enough to make sure that the bonus unit is able to pull all the way in. And they confirm that by it opening that end of stroke switch to kill the silver bonus advance relay, which we just saw is making the step-up coil come in on the silver bonus unit. Okay, so that's one way. So it can't hold itself on until triggered. So the other way is through all of this on itself. Look. Rollover button switches ×2. So there are 2 rollover buttons on the playfield. What would happen if one of those got stuck down? Well, that switch would be stuck, which would provide power at all times to the super bonus advance relay, which would pull in, which would immediately cause the silver bonus, would immediately cause the silver bonus unit step up coil to pull in, which is apparently what's happened. So on the playfield, and I don't think I showed the playfield yet on this video. I'll show you here in a second. Gold, 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 gold. Gold, gold, but this button advances the silver bonus, and this button advances the silver bonus. So this button, if it were to stick down, and these things sometimes do stick down. If it wasn't adjusted right, if there was a little piece of dirt in there, right? How hard would it be for a little piece of dirt to get stuck in that crack, and then that thing just stays down? Okay, so that's stuck down. So that's turning on the advanced silver bonus relay, which is just staying on, because nothing can turn it off until the end of stroke opens it, you know. But if this was stuck down, it would just hold it open the whole time. I mean, hold it closed the whole time. And that would just constantly hold in that coil. So that's probably what happened. One of these rollover switches probably got stuck and fried my coil. Come on, people. Come on now. Why you got to do that to me? So we showed this in the other videos, of course. It's a Laurel and Hardy theme from Spain. Apparently this company, Sonic, started out doing things in cahoots with Williams and then gave Williams the boot and just started making their own games like this one. How cool is that? Look, we've got one flipper left with the Sonic logo on it. This one's been replaced and it's beat all to heck. So I've got new ones for it. Unfortunately, we're going to have to swap them. You can't get the ones with the Sonic logo, so it's just going to be plain ones. But it has a gold bonus here, and it also has a silver bonus here. And so at the end of the ball, you collect the gold bonus. So that one was kind of working, but the silver bonus was never working. It looks like when you land in here, you collect the silver bonus. And then it says advanced silver bonus when lit. On the previous video, the spinner, one of the spinners wasn't working. I'll bet it was the one that was lit. And over here, when you land in there, you're supposed to get 5,000 points and advance the silver bonus. And up here, you have 5,000 points and advance the silver bonus. There's something going on with the plastic up here. Look at this. So electrical tape. That don't look good. Like something's moving back there. So we'll have to get to that whenever we get to that. Okay, so I think that got that. Let's see if it'll actually work now that we put the new coil in it. And let's listen to hear if we hear it lock on or anything. And just see if the thing will play at all. And we'll make a list of what's not working on it and see if we can troubleshoot it. She's on. She's a little noisy. But let's see if she'll start. It says we have 10 credits. Now we did on a previous video, we worked on that a little bit. We had a problem where the score motor wasn't stopping at home position, but we fixed that in a previous video. So looks like the last time we had it on, we didn't score anything. So let's see if she'll start and kick the ball out. It did. Okay, so the silver bonus is at 1,000. I don't know that I've ever seen that yet on this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is lit up. But 5 is not lit up. Alright, I'm going to start writing all those down. What do you think? 5 not lit. There's 2 of them. Look, people. People. I can read it. It doesn't matter if you can't read it. I can usually read it. Okay, advanced bonus gold when lit. One of them is lit, the other is not, so I don't know about that. Look, this one's lit, but these 3 aren't. So we'll see how that works. Advanced gold bonus when lit lights. Okay, and the silver bonus is at 1,000. Silver bonus is at 1,000. Gold bonus is not. I wonder if that should be. So I see that right before we even start. What do you think? So let's try this. Maybe if I hit the advanced gold bonus thing, it'll move it up. It could just be that the light's not lit. No. Oh, it says when lit. Okay, so they're not lit, so they wouldn't. So that one should be lit. So that's a light bulb, obviously. And this obviously didn't move. Well, we were just working on that unit. Maybe it's not advancing, or maybe the lights just aren't working, the little lever. Gold bonus is not lit. Okay, so it looks like this one, and that one should be lit up. So let me mess with that light bulb. It'll be our very first thing that we do. Now, when you lift a playfield on a game that has spinners, you have to be careful, because what will happen is, so it says advanced silver bonus when lit. So if this spinner spins and stays, hear that? It locked on the coil on the stepper unit, just like we were just looking at. Looks like we've got all kinds of light bulb problems. So let me change a bunch of those first. But what I was going to say is, when you lift up the playfield to work on one that's turned on in the middle of a game, that spinner, if it spins just right, it'll lock that coil on, and you got to watch that or it'll burn it up on you, like that one was burned up that we just replaced. So let me replace some light bulbs, and we'll make sure that they're all good before we try to troubleshoot it any farther. Okay, so I'm going through and replacing the light bulbs, and I'm using, let's see here, this little chip paintbrush to clean out the lenses as I replace them. But look what I found. So one of the bulbs, whenever they made it, the drill they didn't have their Z quite right. The drill didn't go all the way through, so it left a lot of the plywood on the very bottom. And so that one's never lit up right. How could it, right? So I'm going to break those out, and finally it'll be correct. So I'm just going through and cleaning the bulbs and replacing all the old ones. I thought, I looked at them whenever I was under here messing with it, and I thought they had been replaced because several of them were new, but they had not been replaced. So I'm swapping all of those, and then we'll try the bonus again. All right, I found something else as I was working through it. This is one of the number 5s that wasn't lit. So I'm going to zoom in on this socket and show you something. See how loose this is? Whenever you've got one like that in the machine, and you'll find these all the time like this, most of them will not do it. See, here's another one just like it, right? See, it's fine. See how firm it is? So when you find one loose like that, you need to either immediately replace it or just disconnect the wire.
If you're not, like, if you can't get to it right then, you're not going to replace it, or you know, you just you're not at the point where you're going to do that. You need to disconnect this wire, because the problem that you have is when this thing tries to light, one side of the transformer is right here, and one side of the transformer is right here, and the thing will short. All it takes is for that this post that goes through the center, right? If that touches that bracket, which it will, like if it touches that, there we go. See it going through the center there? That's one side of the transformer. The other side of the transformer is connected to this the mount here. So usually they do not touch, because you've got this wafer here that keeps it isolated, and it's press fit to where it can't touch, right? But once it gets loose like this, basically the press fitting has broken loose. Once it gets loose, if that touches, you just shorted both sides of the transformer together, and if you're lucky, it'll blow the fuse. If you're not lucky, it'll blow out every light bulb in the game. So it causes you all kinds of problems. So if you've got one and it's doing that and you can't replace it right then, just break the wire off, because then it can't do that. But I'm going to go ahead and replace it, because I got some brand new ones. So let me go get one. All right, so I believe we've got all of the light bulbs working. And I have good news, folks. Are you ready? You long-term viewers, you people that have been watching forever, you may remember that about a year or two ago I mentioned that they had stopped making the number 455 blinking light bulbs. So in these old pinball machines, behind the name of the pinball machine, they would put these little bulbs that heat up and blink. They come on, they turn on and turn off, turn on, turn off. And it kind of just gives a little attraction to the back glass. In a modern machine, the computer can turn it on and off. But on these old ones, there was no way to do that. So they just had a bulb that heated up and opened up and turned off. So they stopped making these little bulbs, the 455 miniature lamps, that one of the things that they were used for was in pinball machines. But guess what? Some wonderful company has started making them again. So they are now available again. Brand new ones. These aren't them. These are the last of our old ones, but I just ordered some. But you can get brand new ones again. Everything's cool. They're about 70, 80 cents a piece, which is a little steep. Whenever we buy bulbs in bulk, we usually get them for like a dime or a little more than that. But these ones are a little more, so we'll deal with it. We'll just have to live with it. Maybe they're made in the USA, and that's why they're more. I would hope that's the issue, but I'll bet it ain't. So we're on to our next problem, though. I think we've got all of this working. See our gold bonus? We're at 10,000. This one's lit, so. Okay, that was interesting. So these are working, right? It's always something. Okay, 40,000. Bulb. Okay. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100,000. Okay, now the silver was the one that we couldn't get to do anything before. It's on 10. This one, it's a little touchy. Sometimes it hangs and doesn't advance in the next one. I'm playing it a little bit to see if it works its way out. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000. And it jogged that light around. Okay, so they're working. And the way they light is that one, and that one. Well, I don't know why it's not lit again. Okay, let me write that down. It's just the actual lamp. Top, left, advance, bonus, gold, light. All right, so I think if I hit this, it wigwags it. Yeah,
So now this one's on, that one's on, but that one's not on, or this one's not on. Okay, I'll look at those. Yeah, that turns that on and off. So all of this is cool. All right, so I got up to, I don't know how I did it. I guess I got all the numbers. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, that didn't do it. Yeah, here we go. Special when lit. So when you hit that, well, that didn't work. When I hit this, how in the world did I do that? Okay, the special's not working. So a second ago, I had the same player shoots again when lit, right? When the ball ended and it counted down everything, the ball just sat there. It didn't go to the next, it didn't kick back out. So let's see if it tells us here that that's what it's going to do. 2 top rollover buttons light alternately to score special when bonus reaches 19,000. 10,000, 19,000. We're going to have to look into that too. 19,000. We're only at 10,000. Does that mean we can still go? Maybe this one will go higher. Doesn't seem to. Oh, let's see. Okay, so I don't know about that. Is this from the wrong machine? Hell yeah. This isn't from this machine. Look. One replay for either top rollover button made when lit for special. There's nothing up there that lights for the special. This doesn't even go to this game. Somebody's just taped this on here. Do you see the stuff we have to deal with, people? Do you see the problems we run into? Let me see what's written on the back of it. This is a note to you from the management. House rules, and it's double underlined. They're tired of the crap. All games must be finished before 10 p.m. Okay? This rule must be obeyed by everyone so we can have a roof over our heads. So we can have a roof over our heads. So if you played the pinball machine after 10, they were going to lose the business. I don't understand that, but maybe there was something going on. That's the wrong card, though. Trash. This says Prospector, so I suppose it's right. Okay. Well, I've got to see. I mean, a special gives you same player shoots again. I don't know why it isn't in this instance. Maybe it's because I don't even know if it's advancing the gold bonus because I maxed them all out. Didn't like that either. It counted down too quick. Okay, so it appears that if you get all the numbers, that lights the special. We still got issues, people. Let me mess with it a little bit more and see what I run into. So I think these may be... It might depend on what ball you're on. They don't wag with these. Like if that left one, it was just on ball 2, but now it's not on ball 3. So, once again, the ball is landing in the out hole and it just shut everything down. It's not doing anything. Okay? So let's see if we advance the gold, if it immediately starts resetting it. It could be that it can't get to the end of the gold countdown, and that's why it won't work. So if I just hit advance, gold bonus when lit, see what happens. Yeah, and that ended the game. Interesting. So let's see, let's look into this first. That's the easy one. I've seen it all now. I've seen it all. So the silver bonus unit at the beginning of the game has 1000 lit up. Those are the silver bonus lights. But the left top rollover button light, which is the one that says advanced gold, lights up whenever you're on 1000. The right top lights up when you're on 5000 on silver. So the silver is controlling the lights of the gold ones at the top. But you know, it can't just work like that. There has to be math involved too, as I call it. It's a light bulb doesn't make anything happen. A light bulb just tells you that something is happening behind the scenes. So for some reason, whenever the silver bonus unit is at 1000, that enables the gold, this button at the top that lights up to add to the gold bonus unit. So that's interesting. Let's see if we can figure out how that works. So here is the silver bonus unit. That I thought only had one finger on it, right? I thought. So the one finger would have to do the lights. How are they making all this other stuff happen? Now maybe we got a piece missing. So this, or maybe I've got them backwards. I don't think I do though. So the silver bonus unit has a wiper on it that connects and blah 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 blah, and whenever it gets to a certain spot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th spot, whenever you go over the right top rollover button switch, it would connect power to the gold bonus advance relay. So that's that position. And then on this one, whenever you're on the, well, I guess this is 0, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whenever you would hit, it would make the gold bonus advance whenever you hit the right top button. And this is also turning on the light, right? And on this one, when you hit the left top button at position 0, 1, at 1, it makes the gold bonus advance relay work. So perhaps I've got these confused again. And the gold one's the easy one. And this, yeah, I think that's right? Is that correct? The gold one is the one with just one finger on it. Okay, so yeah, so that works. So let's play it and see if that's true too. So we're on 1000, and sure enough, the left one is lit. And if I hit it, it advanced the gold. Now if I advance the silver, which I can do with this button, when you get to 2000, it has turned off the left one, which now does not advance the gold, gives you 100 points. But if I keep going up to position 5, it should have lit that one. Maybe the light bulb's not right. Yeah, so it's working, it's just the light bulb's not lit up. So let me fix that light bulb while we're right here in the middle of it. So it's lit now on 5000, and I just showed it worked. So if I go off of 5000, now they're off. So that's working properly. Now, and if I hit it, it doesn't advance gold, but it gives me 100 points. So that part's working fine. Let me mark it off the list. So next we need to figure out why the special isn't working. So let's see if we can light it again. I did get it to work earlier. It says same player shoots again when lit. So it advanced the gold bonus to 40,000 where the light bulb's not working right. And by the way, I replaced all the light bulbs, but the sockets need a little work sometimes, so that one needs some socket work. And you heard it give us the 10,000 points, right? But it's not giving us the same player shoots again when lit. So we need to figure out why that is. Okay, I tracked it down all through there. You can see it, right? You see it up there? Okay, so there's 3 ways to win an extra ball. First of all, that's contingent on where this jumper is set, kind of.
So this is pretty common on EMs. There is a credit extra ball adjustment jack. If you have it over here, you win a credit, free game. If you have it over here, you win an extra ball. So at the end of the game, if you match the last two numbers and the match is turned on, so it can be turned off. So if this wire is moved over here, it's off and none of this does anything. But if you match the last two numbers at the end of the game, this is a pretty complex circuit. The numbers matching with the numbers on the match unit will send the juice down through here. The game over relay will be over. You'll be in game over because it's the end of the game. It will connect power through here, and let's just assume it's on extra ball or credit. You know, how would it work on credit if the game has to be over? Interesting. But anyway, it'll go through here, and you win a free game or a free credit. I mean, a free ball or a free credit. Okay, and then the other way that it can do it is through this little branch here, which comes from the high score adjustments. So when you get past a certain score, through the player unit, blah, 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 everything connects. I guess the 10,000 point relay has to pull in, and you win a free ball that way through the high score, right? Or a free game. But the part that we're messing with is right here. So there's two things that should be happening. As long as you're not tilted, right? And all of the points are scoring, which works off that same switch, so we know that switch must be fine. And by the way, you don't have to be tilted, it's just if that switch isn't dirty on the tilt relay, it would kill all of this stuff. But since we're scoring, we know that switch must be all right. There is a number 1 relay. When I hit the number 1 target, it turns that on. There's a number 2 relay, a number 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. But if you look, when you get to 4, power should have connected through that. And then if you hit the canyon switch and you haven't won an extra ball yet, you win an extra ball. The extra ball relay comes on. Now, if you look up here, you see the same thing, tilt relay, if you haven't tilted. And you have the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, and the number 4 relay turned on. It will light up the extra ball light. They're talking about this. I've never seen that come on. So that's the canyon switch, I suppose, down inside of there. Okay. So basically, if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to light up that light. Now, we would normally know this, but I don't have the instruction card, and we'll have to get it online. So on the light, 1 through 4 will light up that light for the extra ball light. But if you also light up number 5 and number 6, you will light up the special lights. That's happening. So what's that tell you? That tells you that power is coming all the way through here, all the way through here, and through these. So it must be lighting up that light, and I just haven't been noticing it. Or the light's messed up. But power is working on this. However, these switches are only the switches that turn on the light. Like I was just talking about a minute ago. A light doesn't do anything. It just tells you that the math is going to work, right? However, the math is not working, so it must be the other switches. So, like the number 1 relay, the way you pull it in is you just hit the number 1 target switch. Now when you do that, see that little normally closed it says there? So that's normally closed. So what will happen is that will open because the relay comes on, and then that will be open. Now notice there's nothing holding it on, right? Like you're going to come right off that number 1 switch as soon as the ball rolls over it. So how does the light stay on? It's because this must be a relay that just trips and stays tripped. So it must be on a relay bank, probably hanging underneath the playfield. So once it trips, the coil pulls in, it falls down and stays like that. And then there's a big bar that resets them all. So there must be some kind of, I'm sure we could find that on there if we wanted. Okay, so there must be one of those switches, one of these switches must be dirty. And it must be, well, really it could be any of the 6 of them. So we need to check that. So the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 relay, whenever they, not those, I'm sorry. The not those. Where is it? These. The number 1, the number 2, the number 3, and the number 4, and the number 5, and the number 6, if they're all closed. And then you hit a switch on the left side or the right side, depending on where the alternator relay is, whichever one's lit up. It will send the power up here, bam, through here, and you win a free ball. Whew, whew, lordy. So, same player shoots again, how does that light come on? We didn't even get that. That's what I've been looking for. How do I get the... Oh, once the extra ball relay pulls in. Is that right? This is nuts. Yeah. Yeah, it would come up here, connect through, and then it pulls the extra ball relay in. Okay, so the extra ball relay is not coming in, so we must have a problem with one of those switches. Let me look at those 6 relays, and we'll see if one of them looks wrong. Okay, so under the play field is this bank of drop targets, or bank of relays. Number 1 relay, number 2 relay, number 3 relay, number 4 relay, number 5 relay, number 6 relay, and then the extra ball relay. So they've all been tripped except the extra ball relay. So the switches that we're concerned with that need to all be connected through the 6 to make the last one trip whenever you hit the outside rollover starts with this white and orange wire. And I was mentioning in the previous videos that these Spanish ones are kind of cool because they put something on the wire, or they made the wires different where the colors look great. You can identify every wire in the game. Look at that. You never see that on the American ones. They're all faded to like a weird form of brown. So it's very hard to tell them apart. You can once you pick through them a little bit, but it's not easy. So the switch that it goes to, see, it goes to this blade, and then the blade touches the other blade, and then it goes through this little green jumper to the next one. Well, they happen to be in the same position on the first 4, so it's this set right here. Now when I move it, it's already tripped. You can see those are definitely connecting, so that's good. Those are definitely connected, so that's good. Those are definitely connected, so that's good. Those are definitely connected, so that's good. Now if they're dirty, it won't work either, but I've got them pretty clean. And then on this one, it jumps down. If you follow the wire, it's actually that one right there. And it's hard to see, but that appears to be pretty connected. See the 2 blades moving. And then whenever you go down to number 6, they're kind of touching. I'll bet it's number 6. So let me clean that a little bit, and I'm not going to hit the switch over here, and then we'll try it and see if it'll drop the extra ball. Okay, so I adjusted it a little closer. See how the small blade, see this is the long blade, under it is a small blade, to the right of it is a small blade. See how it's moving too? So when this resets, basically this goes like that, right? And it opens it way up by lifting this bar. So when this trips, we could do it the hard way or the easy way. Well, my production quality is just awesome, isn't it? I did the wrong one. See how it opens the switch, but when it trips, it closes the switch? So I'm checking to see if it's really closed, if it's pushing it a little bit, and it is. Okay, so we have 1,
It's getting late, folks. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, right? But we haven't tripped the extra ball yet. So the special is lit on the right side. This is the right side rollover switch. So if we've got all 6 of those right, it should trip the extra ball. Voila. And by doing that, it turned on the same player shoots again light. Very cool. Okay, so let me lay the, I think we're good on that. Let me lay the playfield down and we'll see if it will end the ball. Before, when it did that, it didn't work. Okay, so we got all kinds of points. We've scored all kinds of stuff. We've got a gold bonus, we've got a silver bonus, and then we're going to collect the gold bonus, but we should get a double on it. But it should let us shoot again, right? So we're on ball 1, player 1, and the same player shoots again. It kicked the ball out, and if you heard it go dun 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 dun, it seemed to be counting down properly. We're still on ball 1, and we're still on player 1. So that time it worked fine. So I'll have to keep playing it to see. So we've got that. Something's going on there. We've got to mess with the gold bonus is counting down too quick, and the silver bonus is counting down too quick. And I looked at the extra ball when lit light, and the socket's messed up. So I got to replace that too. So you know what? We got more to do in another video. So that's going to have to end it for today. I think we're getting there though. So I hope you like these videos where I'm trying to walk through and show you on the schematics exactly down to the freaking switch why it's doing what it does. So you're probably not going to have a Prospector. And if you do have a Prospector, it's probably not going to have the exact same problem this one's got. But what's important is, if you learn how the things work by watching the Prospector, you can fix yours, even if it's a gentleman's emailing me right now trying to fix his Bally Nippet. I've never done videos on a Nippet, but we've done a bunch of videos on a lot of different Bally games that are very similar. So hopefully that helps everybody. Leave your comments below. Make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. Hey, you want to know how you can help our channel? If you like videos like this, there's a link down below to Amazon. If you're going to buy anything on Amazon, and most people do, click our link before you go to Amazon, and it gives us a percentage of everything that you buy. So we appreciate everybody that's been doing that. And last but not least, make sure to check out my brother Donnie. My brother has his own channel here on YouTube. He's crazier than I am. So we do pinball machines, jukeboxes, arcade games. My brother Donnie does old vehicles and stuff, and it's kind of just him having a good time. I'm over there with him on the channel a lot because he's my brother. So I'll see you on the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. This is Sonic's Prospector.